Okay, quick question. How fast do you think you're moving right now? Sitting there, it feels like zero. But you're actually being spun around with the Earth at roughly 1,000 miles an hour. You just can't feel it. So let's have some fun with that. What would actually happen if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning? First, why don't you feel it right now? It's the same reason you don't feel it on a plane at full speed. As long as you're moving at a steady pace, your body has no idea anything's happening. The Earth's been spinning smoothly your entire life, so it just feels like solid, stable ground. The danger was never the speed. It's a sudden change in that speed. And that's the part that catches people off guard. If the ground stopped but you didn't, you'd simply keep moving. Anything that isn't firmly attached to the planet, you, your car, trees, entire buildings, would get flung sideways. The Earth stops, but everything sitting on top of it keeps going. So in an instant, the surface gets scraped clean. Anything loose is thrown sideways and torn apart within seconds. It's a brutal start. But believe it or not, that's not even the most interesting part. Here's why. The air was spinning along with the planet. So when the ground stops, the wind doesn't. It keeps racing along at 1,000 miles an hour. Picture a hurricane that covers the entire planet and simply refuses to leave. And it sticks around for weeks. All that air scraping across the ground builds up enormous heat and sets off firestorms. Eventually, the wind does calm down, mostly because there's barely anything left standing for it to push around. Now let's talk about the oceans, because this part is genuinely wild. The Earth isn't a perfect sphere. It actually bulges out a little around the middle. The spinning flings everything outward, water included, so the oceans naturally pile up around the equator. So the moment you take the spin away, the water has no reason to stay bunched up in the middle. Instead, it starts draining toward the top and bottom of the planet. You'd be left with two enormous oceans, one covering the North Pole, one covering the South, and a giant ring of dry land wrapped all the way around the middle. It's basically a brand new planet, and every map you've ever seen would be completely useless. Then things get even stranger, because time itself would feel different. Without the spin, the sun would stop rising and setting each day. A single day would stretch out into a full year. 6 months of nonstop sunlight, followed by 6 months of total darkness. So one half of the planet slowly roasts for months, while the other half freezes in the dark. Same planet, split into two completely different worlds, with nothing but a thin band of endless sunset in between. But the biggest threat is one you'd never see coming. Deep down in the Earth's core, molten metal is constantly churning, and that motion creates our magnetic field, an invisible shield that wraps around the whole planet and blocks most of the sun's harmful radiation. That churning is powered by the spin, so if the planet slows down, the shield starts to weaken. And once it fails, the solar wind begins tearing our atmosphere away, piece by piece. We're not guessing here, either. We've already watched it happen to our next-door neighbor, Mars. It used to have a magnetic field, a real atmosphere, even flowing rivers. But its core cooled, the shield switched off, and the sun slowly stripped its air away into space. What's left is the cold, dead, rusty world we see today. And that's the exact road Earth would be heading down. Now here's the twist that might actually keep you up at night. The Earth really is slowing down, just incredibly slowly. The moon's gravity tugs on our oceans and acts like a gentle brake. In fact, a few 100 million years ago, a single day was only about 22 hours long. But don't lose any sleep over it. It's happening so gradually that the Earth will never truly stop. The sun will swell up and swallow the whole planet billions of years before that could ever happen. So the next time the ground feels perfectly solid and still beneath you, just remember, you're actually racing around the planet at 1,000 miles an hour, and you'll never feel a thing.